Oh,
Oh,
we should have rang the bell because Kevin got a.
what?
Oh,
Go ring. No, you didn't ring the bell. You gotta go ring the bell. No, you're gonna ring it now.
Oh.
Who did we make ring it? Crystal? Did it was, oh yeah, I think we made Crystal.
Nothing's definite. I gotta call her later, but yeah.
Sound pretty promising though.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. She was at the deli next door.
I saw her walking through at least,
So she saw the sign.
yeah.
That's why I want to put one on the other side so people down there can see it this way.
Yeah, but she walked by like 3 times.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she's been, so she's on placement. All right, well, first class of the next round. So I'm actually like really excited about this. Because I love social. And I know I've been promising that we would start jumping into a lot of things and been chaotic, and now we're finally get to it. Okay. So just like I ended last quarter session with the listing mastery, you guys will have a 1-pager of any resources. This one is mostly just stats and things like that, because we're going to talk about what is social media, why do we have it, etiquette, things not to do. I might have some fun things. I might have had to put stars all over too. In addition, if you guys haven't signed up for the listing mastery course, please do that. Even if you're just taking 1 or 2 courses, just sign up so your seat is held. Okay. And, don't worry about if you guys can't make it. I know that you guys already went to majority of them. Like the first class was tweaked. Every class will be tweaked each quarter to whatever changes the market and or your guys' feedback give.
It won't be exactly the same.
I mean, the premise will be the same, but yeah, it'll be structured a little bit. Like the scripting one, for instance, we're getting for next week 2 good scripters, and we're gonna have like question, objection.
Listing master?
Yeah, for the scripting one, yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna have questions under the our seats, so that bless you, okay, I love you. If it was him, I was gonna snap back at that one. Because again, we're in the office and not my class. Anyway, so what was I saying? Squirrel.
Oh, the script.
Yeah, so it'll be under the things, so they don't know what they're gonna be dealing with. We're gonna like surprise them. So, because really, what's the whole thing when we make a phone call, right? We don't know what to expect.
The phone call's different. I'm
making recruiting calls and in my head half the time, because it's still, and I'm used to talking to agents. I love agents, but I told Alex it's like calling cancels expires and FISPOs. It's not always the easiest. Okay, so with that said, I want to do something fun. We actually will be raffling off those gifts for last month's attendance to our meetings. But we have got some vendors putting some stuff together for us. Okay, so we're gonna, for listing mastery course, and it's not bad. It'll be something.
Why don't we have,
Oh,
how come we can get kids to do that?
right. I guess we're gonna have to send Ben an email. But there'll be 3, you know, like first, second, and third, if you want to call it, little things to give away at the end of the courses. So you get a point for answering question, which means I'm gonna throw you a raffle. Okay, just fill it out, put it in the container. 5 raffles if you complete your activity. 10 points for every attendance day after the first day. Okay. And then 20 points for inviting someone, and it can be someone in our office. Okay. So really, you know, I think some of my text messages, emails had said so, like we did the top 20%, and Alex was, you know, doing a meeting. So I was writing down all the things, and there must have been like 20 things. And at least 85% of them were the things that we were covering in the mastery course. Okay. So I know the values there. Okay. Worksheet today. I would like you to work on it as we go, so I don't have any designated time like I do. I have built more designated activity time into each class, by the way. So like the listening class yesterday, we took 2 different pieces and we worked on a thing. So I would like what we call your handler, you know, so if you go onto your like Facebook and you view your profile, you can see where it says whatever, right? Same thing with the Instagram or whatever. So if you have social, I would like you to put it down for me so I can follow you. Some of you have been on my social forever. In addition, I made it super easy for you. So you have a QR code for any of my social. That would be relevant to this class. Okay. So I tried to make it super easy. All right, so we're gonna crush it on a social circuit, expanding our reach. We're gonna own the space while proving that we are the ultimate pick for our clients, okay? Why? Because social media is dominating our lives. And it's funny because when I did, you guys know me, I love to do like the stats and why, right? So as I was diving into things, even I had an aha. And so when we get there, I'm really excited for you guys because, I call myself a social baby because I've been there since MySpace, but there was something that was uncovered. So I found it to be quite interesting because it's almost like every genre that still exists on this world is a part of why we're sitting here. So that was kind of cool to see. Okay. I'll wipe that off in a minute. Okay. You guys know me. I want you guys ask the questions. Let's talk. We do have a smaller group again today, so it makes it a little bit more intimate with us. Note take, snap your pictures. I have decided that this round of things I will not be giving out my slides. Okay. And the reason for that is because I feel like me giving you guys all the stuff, not you guys specifically, but giving all the stuff in general, allowed the attendance to go down because everybody was going to get the course material anyways, right?
Makes sense.
It defeats the purpose of us collaborating.
Mhm.
I don't even know close to everything, right? I rely on you guys too to learn and grow and find new things that I need to jump into and stuff. So I feel as gypped as you do when we we don't have the participation. Okay.
That's a good point. A lot of people aren't bothered going if they're getting selected.
Yeah. So, okay, breaks, smaller groups. So just go, you guys know where the bathroom is. If you guys need coffee, it's over here. I do have some chips over here. And we do have a couple of what are they? The pin rolls or whatever from Costco and some meats and cheeses in the fridge. Okay. Commitment, you guys know, I want to see you here every day that you can be here. Okay. All right. Any questions before we go? Okay. I want you to pay attention to how interactive my slides are this time. Okay, me and AI again. Okay, so I like to call social media the elephant in the room, right? Takes up a lot of space. We have to move around it, right? We even have to brush up against it. There's all these things that it does in the room, but no one wants to really move it. No one really wants to own it. No one really wants to put it in its place. No one wants to use it for what it's intended for, right? Or what it's morphed to be. I don't think that technology in general, anything that we create, right, is intended necessarily to be what it sometimes ends up being. But that's kind of the cool thing about evolution. So with social, it has been a complete evolution, and you guys know we already have robots and crap like that. We have AI that literally will give me a elephant texting, with a little blazer, right? So like it's already there, right? So we're gonna go into exactly how we kind of got there. So before I start, you guys can read this a little bit. First electronic that you guys touched that was not a TV or a remote or the phone off the thing,
Record player.
record player. Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, I guess the record player, yeah.
Okay. Jason?
Like even go back like even when I was a child. like,
Yeah.
first thing I-
The first thing you can remember playing with that was like an electronic that allowed you, not TV or radio.
Maybe like the Atari or Nintendo, but that's TV, but
Nope, it's not a TV.
okay.
How about you?
If it's not a radio, then probably, yes, my hi-fi.
Ah, so mine was an Atari. Like my dad had one. It was like the coolest thing, right? I think you know, obviously there had been some virtual things happening on the back end, but we didn't have computers, right? And back then, like servers took up like our whole office, right? They were so big. So it's amazing how small things and convenient things have gotten over the time. So what is social media? Social media defined, and I went ahead and snapped this straight from the dictionary. It's websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Okay. So, you know, we talk a lot about it's social media, right? And then Google, that's social media to some degree, right? One of our first search engines being, which is Microsoft, you know, all of those. There's all a history to why those are all social oriented, right? So somehow we are living in a world in which we just exist with having full on relationships, sometimes even finding marriages without ever having an actual physical interaction with someone. Can you imagine that? Like, do you guys remember dating? Could you imagine like finding someone online and like never meeting them but haven't already fallen in love with them? Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's like when you think about how like, and again, different generations in this room, right? But like I still come from an era where you met and there was more traditional roles and things like that. So yeah, the world's crazy. Okay. So what's the first social platform that you guys can remember and when did it launch?
MySpace, I mean, I'm sure there's some before that, but.
I think it was MySpace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never on it, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
When was that,
didn't
the
use it.
early 2000s or like 2002, 2003, something?
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think the one, yeah, MySpace, I didn't use it, but that was the first one I can
I
remember.
didn't use it either.
So that's what's so crazy, right? Like we think social media and we're going to go right back to when we could have like these profiles, right? That's where our brain goes, right? Which is early 2000s, right? Does someone need it? Okay. All right. Well, I will tell you that when we look at the history of, okay, chat was the first leg of social media. Okay. And it started back in 1979 with the Plato. It was a education-based platform. And they had created a few different types of chat, like term talk, notes, and things like that. So from there, you guys tell me when you think chat, what comes to mind? Because it will be before MySpace. Oh, can I find the ringtone? Wait, just wait. Keep thinking.
Then like, I was gonna say AOL, would you've got mail or something, email or stuff. It's never nice.
Okay, so hopefully this is it.
Bounce.
AOL, right? Yep. So when we had dial-up,
Believe it or not, that's still around, so.
they are so loud, right? But this is what it looked, this is what it sounded like every time we went to go get on the internet, right? And so AOL Messenger,
Seems like.
yeah. Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, like all of those ones, right? That, guys, that's social. That was the beginning. That's when we stopped communicating over a phone and in person, and we started communicating through a digital object, right? In which we're seeing something, not hearing something, but seeing something, right? So it goes way back. And I did, I think that was my aha, right? Because I was like, well, I like to call myself a social baby because I was first gen for MySpace. And I've been through all of it. If you go into Wikipedia's timeline, it's actually pretty funny because it like talks about when Facebook launches their unlimited photos. And if you hear me talk about social, I'll talk about, I remember when we only got 6 and then we got 12 and then they gave us albums and I was like, oh my gosh, right? But the fact is just like everything else, it evolved from computers being so big and coming in and us doing that and needing to communicate over those platforms, right? Yes.
So I just have a quick comment.
Yeah.
I think it was in my brain since I saw this was coming up. Over the weekend on a PBS show, they were talking about social media.
Yeah.
And kids, but said originally it was called social networking.
Mm-hmm.
And he said now it is a social platform
Mm-hmm.
where, network, you got together, now you stand on it and everybody,
Oh, I like
spouts
the way that is, and we
Yeah.
do, we call them platforms.
Yeah, that you get on and whatever you wanting to, espouse is. Yeah, I thought, yeah, it really is.
So thank you to computers, right? And all the things that it continues to give us to do. So who had AOL? Who had one of those?
About?
Yeah. Yeah, Hotmail.
Yeah.
When the internet started getting big and you started having those like underbelly chat rooms and.
My brother had the original Commodore 64.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my brother had one again. He's more of the engineer.
Yeah.
Mine was the Gateway, probably around 1995.
Mhm.
I had probably a TI, Texas Instruments, something.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Could play Frogger.
Frogger. Remember when they came out with the Oregon Trail? And you're just like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
moving. Oh my gosh, you're just like, right? Thinking now we are where we're at now, like we just put a headset on and, in some cases. So what came after that, right? Well, we had video, influencing and streaming. Okay. So they kind of came within all of each other, kind of overlapping. That's why there's not one right after the other. So streaming, right? When you think of streaming now, I think of like Discord, Twitch, and some of those that you hear about where like these kids and young adults, right? They're streaming how they're playing their games and stuff, right? But guess what? There's gonna be the second online mischievous, that one. Anyways, see, and then I'm gonna squirrel. I think I did this yesterday too. Or I mean Tuesday too. There we go back. My brain, my brain swirls. I'm in like 5 million different places. Streaming, okay.
Gaming.
Video conferencing. That is streaming. Okay. We then were put like Skype and, now we use Zoom and Google Meets and things like that. I remember when Google Meets was grainy. Now we can use it much more efficiently than, especially during COVID. But anyways, right. So like those streaming platforms started well before we have all these gaming things, right? That's just the evolution of the streaming because everything else already has a level of streaming built into it naturally, right? So video too was a big thing. When we started to get the ability with like MySpace and Facebook specifically, right? That was huge because we could share our world with people that were all the way across the world, or at the time, maybe our states, right? But now it's like international. When you be friends with anyone, anywhere, it's insane. Okay. And then we've been in this like genre of influencing, right? How many likes do I get? How many comments? Am I moving it? Do I have enough to be verified somehow? And get some kind of gold stamp. Thank you, YouTube, because they were really the ones that started that, right? But Instagram was the one that made it what it is, right? Now we can't trust, if she's Asian or white. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that like I'm not being racist. I'm just like, do you know what I mean? Like, we can't trust because filters and things like that. Like, do you remember like catfishing is what it is? But you would hear about like these long distance relationships going and like people would meet them and you're like, wait, that is not what I signed up for, right? Like we can digitally do that now. I'm going to show you one of my profile pictures for the first time ever. I did switch it during Halloween when I did the AI. I actually switched my TikTok to an AI one. So, you know what I mean? Like, so we can do that. I mean, it's just insane. So we talked about chat. Did anyone Skype? Never use Skype?
rarely. There were one or two people that.
But you've used it, so you know what that broadcasting, like
Yeah.
getting on and having to have your webcam up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure, we stream in different ways. Do we know an influencer? Do you know someone who does really, really well on Instagram or TikTok or any of those things? You don't count because you follow all the big people. She knows them all. Who do you know that we know? Yeah, like here in the States. I know. I know.
There's a lot of them. Alex Manning is one.
Yeah.
He does great.
There's a lot of agents that have dominated. I mean, I think Family Reunion and Make It Camp specifically the last couple of years have had a lot of agents that had nothing, moved into an area, and that's how they started farming, was through social, right? They were really super consistent. Anything we do. Yeah. You have to just do it. Yeah. Yep. You might have like something in your teeth. Trust me. Someone will say something, that's what you want. Okay. So we understand that, right? This is now we're in an another evolutional period, which is, who was here for my last class? I think you two were you?
Yeah.
When I went through this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know, like, right? There's also some of the things I gave you, they're demographically broken down. And I was like, oh, I was right. Right? So like, there's all these brackets of people based off the type of usage or convenience or whatever, right? So there's a way for us to hit all of these things and to be able to essentially lead gen and or build our presence, right? Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. All right, so I just wanted to go through one more time. I know I mentioned some of them, right? Chat, AOL, Instant Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Windows Messenger, Twitter. I would consider it because it's just a little blurb. And Reddit's like this thing now. I remember when you couldn't trust it. Now it's like this source of information no one wants to talk about. Okay. Visuals, MySpace, Facebook, Skype, Snapchat, YouTube, just to name a few. And there's a whole bunch of other like smaller ones, and this person bought this one out and it's all over the place. Influence, LinkedIn. Okay, it was meant to be a business influencing platform. Instagram, Pinterest. Like there's actual like, what do they call them? Pennies or something? They actually have any, like people that like love Pinterest. I love it. I'm a crafter. Like I love it. Great. Okay. True Social's one. Threads just came out. Streaming, we have Justin TV was one of the first ones. Twitch, Discord, Mastodon, and Zoom, right? Those are just some to name a few, right? So just over the period of time, there's been quite a bit. So I'm sure that, like, again, how many of those platforms have you used? So I'm gonna go back. And I need to start getting my tickets out.
Have I gone to or actually,
Like every used, like,
Like used, I mean, you would have had to have
on
an account.
YouTube, I go look, but I don't post things myself.
No, but you use it.
Yeah. Okay.
6 or 7.
Okay,
yeah, I would say 5 or 6 for me.
I was gonna say 5.
okay,
13.
yeah. So that's a lot of system to have to get used to somehow, right? And they've all changed and morphed over the years as well. Okay. All right. No, let's get past this one. Why? Okay. Because according to a recent survey, the biggest reason people use social media is to keep in touch with their friends and family. Okay. As many as 49% of the internet users list this as one of their top uses for social media. Why? Because you know what I stopped doing with social, or because of social? I used to print out pictures of my kiddos. And I would get packaged together for my aunts. And, my dad wasn't here anymore. My mom was. So it was really my aunts and uncles and cousins and whatever friends. And I would put this little card together and handwrite it And I would label my little pictures with, my proud mommy, baby pictures, of my kiddos, and I would send them off. And that's how you did, right? Like I still have pictures of a lot of my friends' kids and stuff when they're big, because that's what we did. But because social became such a norm, guess what we stopped doing? I don't send mail. I don't expect to receive it either. And so why? Because I can instantaneously press a button and they can see them. I can flood them, or they can choose to or not see whatever they want to see, right? I can tell them I love them anytime I want to. Check in anytime I want. I'm not paying long distance fees like back in the day, right?
As you said, I can't speak for everyone or even me necessarily, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but some people hate the phones. I mean, Facebook is easier in a lot of ways to reach out and keep in touch with people. I mean,
It's became a weird,
Yeah.
detached, intimate thing, no different than text did for phone calls too, right?
right.
I mean, it's like a replacement, right? Going back
I
to,
hate it, but sometimes it's more convenient to not use the phone than use it. I mean, it's just,
I talk more now. I don't like to text because I just have backup of stuff, but like I come from that. Like I'd rather text you and Facebook you or something too, because that's my genre, right? It's personal, but not like I'm talking to you, but I don't have to like waste all the time and talk to you, right?
That's what it is.
Mhm.
Sometimes I look at for back and forth text messaging, it's like, because it's like a little monologue.
Yeah,
It's easier, it's like, could have picked up the phone, answered the question, answered this.
that's where I'm at right now. I'm like,
I get a little irritated when it's like a 2-paragraph text and it's
yeah.
like 20 or 30 of them back and forth. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Gee, pick up."
See, and I used to be like, have a conversation. Now I'm get like 1 or 2 word answers. And if you do get a sentence, it's probably not spelled right. Because
Someone
I'm like,
texts me and I call them back because I'm like, I can't.
but
afford
that's,
this.
yeah,
And I'm like, and they don't answer.
yeah.
Realtors are the worst.
Dude,
100%.
The worst.
You sell a house by this with the phone. So someone will say right there in the thing, don't call me, I won't
Yes,
answer,
I've had
text it.
Well, I mean, how many times did I say in class last quarter? It's like, it's our job to pick up the phone. I mean, it's this new concept, I guess, we're
That's
just
why
learning.
this new NRA thing, anyway.
Oh, yeah, forcing the agents to have to,
Cause you're gonna have to reach out to
Yeah.
the agent, hey, are you offering compensation? You know,
it's
and they don't
going,
answer the phones.
Yeah. I mean, how about that? I mean, at least it's in writing if you text them. I mean.
Yes, that's true
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so, yes, family is one of them. Let's talk about some of the other reasons why we use social media.
Grow your business, keep in touch with long lost friends,
Mhm.
long lost family, keep up what's going on in the community. I have a lot of community pages up all.
So, yeah, some people use it for news, like you just said, news and that.
I was wondering who was gonna pick up on that.
Pick up on what I'm saying.
Sipping the tea, gossiping, just, I mean, I'm sure if my daughter heard me say that, she'd be like, Mom, that was like sell last year, but whatever. To just share a few, the other one, 28% says business. So 91% research at home. 38% of us out of boredom. I mean, reels have become a replacement. 34% of us get our news and politics. 26% of us are finding inspiration for a project, a gift, or something. Pinterest. 28% of us are on there to sip the tea, be a part of the drama. 30% of us are finding content, things to regurgitate, again, ideas, not so much inspiration, but just like rip and duplicate, right? 49% friends and family, 26% to purchase something, 22% to find new contacts, 22% to share photos, videos, whatever. 89% to promote themselves and 28% for business. Okay. It's all over the place. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's touching everything minus education. Really? I mean, and that really could be in there. And a few other, you know what I mean? But like, we live on social. I mean, to some degree, whether we're interacting. So when was the last time you guys used your social for your business?
About an hour ago.
Cool. Yes, sorry. You get a ticket for that. Okay, okay. Kyle,
Yesterday.
okay?
What's that? I know.
I know you have a date. There is no wrong answer, sweetie. Last time we did a social thing?
Wrong.
Okay, how about you?
Actually, I guess yesterday, it was a private Facebook message, but to a past client, just wanted to check in.
I will take it. Okay. I went with Andrew Ostrander to a $6 million property the other day, so before my phone died, I took as many photos and videos as I could, threw a little reel together yesterday and threw it up there. Call me, don't wait, give me a call, right? This is what $6 million views look like in Arizona, right? Took me maybe 20 minutes to edit and stuff like that.
Who's this with it? Or who's it?
Andrew, no, Andrew
Ostrander, he's a
Ostrander.
commercial
Oh, it
guy.
was his listing.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's like the biggest house in Dorado. Okay, so cool. I gotta go use the little girls' room anyways. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, and then when we get back, we're gonna go through each like the benefits and why the ones I chose for us to go through. The social pieces, whether beneficial to our business. That's specifically it. As we go through these courses, right? Like if you looked at my course curriculum, you'll see I have one that's like instant gratification. That class is only about Instagram. Okay. One that says get the TikTok off, right? It's all about TikTok. Okay. So we'll go through, when we do that, we will go through, here's here's your private, here's your business, here's ads. Like I'm gonna try to get a quick little like go here, here, here. That's where you're gonna post, right? Probably we'll do an activity around it. Okay. So I will tell you, I know you guys should have got an email when you signed up. If you didn't, I'm sorry, we're using a new system for our events. Bring your computers every time you come to my class. Okay, I want your computers here. You will need them somehow. Okay, you will need pen and paper. If you need a charger for your computer, bring your charger. If you need one for your phone, I have plugs all over my floors. Okay, bring that. If there's something specific you want to drink or eat, bring it. I don't care. If you want to pull a sleeping bag out there, I don't care. Just bring whatever makes you comfortable, okay?
Open bar.
Kitchen's open. Your call. All right, I'm gonna put the timer on. I'm gonna make a couple calls and you guys stretch. Like I said, I've got the pinwheel little sandwich things in the fridge and then some chips over here, coffee, and I think we have cold waters in the fridge too, I think.
And for these, do you want like a full link, like for Facebook, LinkedIn, like a,
You should have like a handler piece at the end where it says like your name or something. I really want that piece after the URL that you go to. Okay. Do this and I'll put the timer on. We should get better tunes in here.
The next meeting, we just had a break in class. What's that? Well, no.
What a music on Canva.
Oh, okay, so that's all. That's attached to your. Yes. But yeah, it's just a page. Okay. Your personal page is a piece, yeah. All right, well, that's what I think. I don't know if it's separate. Okay, so, something. Yeah. I'm surprised. I was saying. For some. But, you know, so. Also, that's because it's sitting on the net. I was talking about the timeline. They had a violation of the post. Sitting in there because. And then he used to just be the place, but they're gonna go and have another. But, when they post back in the books, but. Then they have this family grade. The Facebook, like they had to put Instagram there and then I was like, it's good. So because of that, all of the recording stuff, you know. He's just going, only for the. He'll always, and I can put out this, but I'm sure it's always on the way. I'm just thinking about
I believe in the days on even big. It's.
Which is probably why I'm so particular about how you present yourself. Okay. We're gonna jump back into it. Like it's been extra slow. Okay. So obviously there's a ton of social out there, right? So I already said it that I was gonna be really intentional with the ones that I chose. And that's because the statistics show I can account for myself, also pulling leads from, so I know it works personally, right? Or ones that have just designed their platforms or morphed them around us being able to use it for business, which most of them have. Even up till recently, TikTok has offered ads. You know, I mean, Instagram didn't, you know,
forever and stuff too, so it was just Facebook for the longest time. So. If my thing will work. You like my elephants? I thought they were pretty funny. We don't want to work. You're supposed to. That is so weird. We'll just start from here and hopefully that'll let me. Operate. Okay. That's really odd. That's not the way that looked. Yeah, I have something going on. Okay, please hold. Yeah, not all my, moving forward, I'm gonna have to use like my Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, so. I won't have a whole bunch of slides for all the classes this time. Okay, fingers crossed, guys.
Well, if you ever use Instagram. Yeah,
Here we go.
absolutely.
Okay. So this is our favorite, just because it's probably been the most universal and we have the most amount of people using it. It is also the most user friendly. Okay. But there's a lot of features in here that, you guys have sometimes heard me talk about, right? Like, but that are just instrumental towards our business or building our brand, right? You guys will hear me talk about posting your business stuff to your business page and resharing it on your personal page, right? Because you force a share. Cross contamination. Not all your friends are gonna like your page, and so on and so forth, right? Okay, so obviously our personal Facebook page is the first and foremost, right? That's our SY. Directly right there. Okay, those are the people we love, we're connecting with, right? I just got a referral from my cousin in Illinois. Because they watch what we're doing and stuff like that. So Kevin, I know did you go on that one with us? Angela did. We got one from our stock. They had been tracking us for like months. Called us and was like, yep, I want you guys to list our house. Okay, so that is the first for everything is based off that personal page, right? But 68% of our online users have a Facebook. Okay, 68%. It's quite a bit. Why? Because our demographic is so large with that one. Okay. It's been the most consistent, it's been the most easier, like user-friendly platform out of all of them, and that matters. So then we get our business page, right? It is connected to our personal page. You have to have personal page to have business page. They also want to verify you. They want to ensure that it's a legitimate business and that you're just not spamming. Most of these social platforms, Google, everything will want to verify that you're an actual business and or person acting according to whatever, okay? Why? Because if you haven't been put in Facebook jail, well, it sucks. And they're not very friendly. Okay, so then if you guys didn't know that Facebook Marketplace is also a place to solicit business. Okay, it's allowed, you can post things for rent and sale. Okay, people post things there all the time. Okay, I'm not saying that FSBOs are your lead source, but I'm just using them as an example. They don't want to use agents, so they're going to go to Zillow. Of course, they don't know how hard it is to necessarily get to their listing, and that's fine.
So they're going to also post on Craigslist and Marketplace and some of those platforms that allow them to. They're gonna go into, you know, I mean, they're doing, and I don't know why you're not doing it. They're also gonna do that. You guys have heard me talk a lot about the Facebook groups. Facebook groups around your farming, okay? Facebook groups around the hobbies that you guys love to do. Group around the community things that you do, it could be church, kids. I don't know. That list could go on and whatever, right? But those groups are important because those are like your little niche of people that you have instant connection with somehow, right? In addition to that, we'll have ads and more. So we can boost post or we can boost our posts. Ooh, don't say that 20 times fast, 10 times fast. So we can boost them, which is cool. We can run our ads. We all know in this room, because we are KW, that we get the advantage of, if we choose to run a Facebook or Google pay-per-click ad, especially Facebook, we're going to get our leads cheaper and more. Okay. Now going back to the listing course, Tuesday, what are internet leads? Do you guys remember that from the first class last quarter?
Internet leads on your website?
Yeah. Well, what would you consider an internet lead a lead? You would?
We had someone, we just closed that house, people from Alaska, they landed on our website.
Right. In general, though, would you consider an actual online contact a lead?
Mhm.
No,
No? So if someone calls you from, if you have a website, and someone calls you from the website, say, hey, I found you on a website. You wouldn't
You're
consider
having
that a lead?
someone call you, though. That doesn't always happen.
Oh.
I'm talking about, like, okay, we run a command ad, Facebook command ad, right? And we get 10 leads. Are those leads? No, they're not. We might have a lead in there, right? Because they're invited.
Oh, okay, like the same thing as like the house metrics too,
Mhm.
yeah.
Why do I say that? Because everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna put all this money, I get all these leads and blah, 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 blah. They give you shit information. They're most likely nurtures, if anything. Okay, most of the time, okay? I'm not saying that's not a good lead source. It's just if you don't have them dealt with a drip, you know, you don't have a system around it, they're hollow, right? Because why? We look. Sarah, you're a girl. If you needed an outfit for something, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to just be looking at a ton of stuff. Maybe kind of ask about something, but move on.
Okay, so if you're looking for,
Oh, are you looking, so if I go into a store, do I need help? No, just looking.
that's my point, men do it too. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. It's just-
We all do it, right? Like, we want to look, we want our options. Okay, so those things are no different. So I just wanna, I always go back down to that because we have this great ability to get them. We just need to make sure we're handling them appropriately. So anyways, so yeah, the ads and more, right? And then of course, they've really beefed all this stuff up. We get went back to this. We get Facebook analytics as well. Okay. And they have beefed it up quite a bit, you know, and again, obviously the matrix, the meta is responsible for this. But again, you can track, you know, most of our platforms are going to have things like likes or follows, right? They're gonna have some kind of verbiage, you know, impression versus click. Okay. So there's these like their social media pipeline, if you want to call it. So these are all some of the things, right? So obviously we know we get likes, shares, and then videos have gone up. Like this is, if you were to compare your analytics between your videos and your stagnant content, you would be wickedly surprised. And
ashamed of yourself that you're not doing more videos. Because that's literally the platform of communication we're sitting in. Okay. But anyways, it'll show you that stuff, right? So if you run an ad or you run a post, doesn't matter because it does it for all of them, or you boost a post, right? Depending on the verbiage or the content or what it was that you're delivering the message, you can tell if it's working or not. You know what I mean? Numbers don't lie. And that's kind of always my thing. Questions? And obviously we don't ghost people. They say something, we respond. Okay. All right. So what do you do on Facebook? How do you waste your time? Because I know y'all have it, because I'm on all y'all.
Scrolling,
I was gonna say, just
Scroll, newsfeed or reels?
both.
Okay. Okay.
Go through my timeline, I mean, just see what pops up.
Okay. Make sure you're up to date. Okay.
yeah, I scroll, I watch all the Russell Shaw posts.
Well, you know, he's got a mouth on him, so you know,
I scroll as well.
yeah.
I
Kyle?
look at some real, if I get looking, there's some I'll look at, but
Okay.
most of it's just scrolling through.
Yep. What about you,
Reading
Kyle?
comments.
Reading comments, yeah.
I usually go in there with some sort of intent to do something important or
Mhm.
productive, but I either find the distraction and keep going, or I do what I have to do and then find the distraction.
Yeah, I've been using social media so much, I haven't watched a reel in probably 4 months. You know, just because I hop in and I hop out. If I hop in, I'm looking at my analytics and I'm hopping right back out. Okay, so, I mean, everybody does it. Okay, so. Oh, I think I have the question later. I'll wait.
So you did it, how do you waste your time on it? Right.
But that is how you
Yeah.
waste your time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just scrolling.
So we're
There are
just,
times I whip on.
because we're looking for
news I
something,
never
it's,
Get off.
because why? We're looking for something instant gratification. We're looking for something that's gonna set the pulse and move from there. All right, Google. It's a tough one. Kev's got some issues with some out of country issues, calling them late at night. That's its own thing. Get away down to the bottom of it. Google's really tricky. Okay, AdWords and stuff like that. Like, but again, we go back to 68% of our online users are using Google to search. You know, hey
It's
Google.
not more than that.
Well, we have Siri, we have, you know, we've got Bing and some of the other ones too. It's not the only search engine out there. I mean, we don't use Yahoo like we used to. Remember MSN? You know, I mean, there's always been other ones, or AOL. I mean, they still exist. They just aren't being used, right? Okay. So cool thing is I love that these places are doing this, right? Like all of our social, they're verifying you. So Google's cool because when you use our address and stuff like that, or you use your home address, you can use either. You know, they're gonna send you a piece of mail, you log back in, you do your thing. If you move, they'll have you do a video. But they're verifying that you're a legitimate business that should be searched on their website, you know, or their search engine, right? I would say that Google probably has our top review up. Okay. It is one of the top places to go to review and to get a star rating. And they probably were the ones to have coined that 5-star rating. Really. I mean, so it's a great platform because so many people use it. It's a great way to hold your stuff. We used to hold all of our reviews in Zillow actually for the longest time. But most of us go ahead and hide them there. So again, we have pay-per-click ads and AdWords, right? So I like to think that AdWords is like hashtags, essentially, okay? Little phrases and stuff like that. Just without the hashtag, right? They've been using it forever. Again, can be challenging to get it right. And when you do, you get it right. The cool thing about Google recently is it has really allowed you to treat it as a quote unquote social networking platform. Okay.
posting organic pictures, you can post events, you can do all kinds of things on there, okay? You can treat it and you should be treating it, right? Because again, you're an iPhone user or an Android user, okay? And even if you're, did I say that? iPhone? Yeah, okay. Sorry, then I was like Apple in my
You
head.
said iPhone.
Yeah. Okay, so iPhone, right? Like you can be an iPhone and a Mac user, but guess what? We force you to log into what? Google. That's my platform for my Androids and my PCs, right? But our workspace, because it's so big, our Google Workspace, right? Which is how you guys get your emails and access to all your stuff, right? That is Google related, YouTube, Messenger, all that stuff. We force you guys to go into there. So even though you don't use that operating system and that search engine, you're still having to log into that, right? So we do want to treat it like a social too, although I can't get verified, by the way. I've tried 4 times.
Really?
And I think it's because I've ran so many teams in this office. And had I've been troubleshooting it in my head. Okay. And again, with the analytics, right? They're fantastic about that. In fact, I know Kevin, it's not the results that Kevin and Sabrina need. So I recognize that. But we were going through going, well, it's not working, right? It is, we need to do something or nothing, right? But like we had to go back and we were able to pinpoint and go and, okay, well, here's where the activity is and stuff like that. So, so it's beneficial to, again, because I tell you guys all the time that you guys need to be tracking your ads. Stop them if they're not working. Okay. Pause them so you can adjust them, or totally pivot if that's what you have to do. It is cool. You got a pause button. It's like a game. Okay. Only, it's an expensive game sometimes. Questions. Do we have a Google? Do we have a Google My Business?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because one of the things that I'm going to be working on is we should be able to use Google to kind of cast over our command website so that it goes to the top. And that's my next goal, is to figure out how to do that. Because all these companies are charging like $500 to do this, and it cannot be that hard. You know what I mean? So like that is just a huge platform. If someone's going to look you up and they want to find directions to your office or something like that, it's right there. Okay. We had I will ask you this question, but we actually had two gentlemen come in from Wickenburg, looking for a lender for, construction. Commercial loan, both. And they asked for like a galaxy lending or something. And I've been in this office for like 5 years, right? So I was like, I'm not familiar with them. And they're like, well, Apple sent it to me, but that's where Apple took me. And I was like, oh, well, chances are they probably attached our business, this business address to their thing, and they never disconnected. You can't actually take these pages away, by the way. You have to just deactivate them. But they didn't deactivate it. And my guess is it's Apple, so it's probably Yelp, unless he was using the Google search engine. I've never seen that name attached to us, but anyways, we were able to convert it and end up being like an 18 parcel split up in Wickenburg. But you know what I mean? It's getting used. It's not always right, but oh, went too far. So how often do you use a search engine?
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
I mean, if I look at my phone, just because it gives you your history and stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, you're gonna laugh at me because of the things I was looking for. Standard practice 12. Okay, working on article 12 in my CE classes. Real estate agent caught on camera, real estate agent failed headshots. Real estate agent suspended because of social media, real estate agent suspended because of social media skimpy. I mean, I went all like through all the things, like there's there's some things in here I was searching for this morning, like, right? So like, we just use it for everything, like, my son was put on a new prescription and he's almost 21, so I didn't need to be there. As soon as I heard what it was, right, what'd I do? Google it. What are you gotta be concerned about, right? We used to say not to self-diagnose ourselves, but I think we're far past that. Okay, again, I know you already mentioned it. How many of us go to YouTube? Primarily to find out how to do something visually. Correct? Okay. How about music? I'm gonna tell you, probably watch it more than you realize, because most of our platforms integrate directly with YouTube.
YouTube is maybe small. Once you want the visual,
Yes, but like Vimo is another platform for Vimo. It's like YouTube, okay? And for a while there, they were kind of like, obviously YouTube won out that because they're still just as strong and integrated with everything else, but we're gonna go there. So I've had YouTube as long as it's been around, and Pandora came out so many years after that, but I'd already been working on my playlist because I could listen to all my music, whatever I wanted. I'm very eclectic. I didn't have to pay for it. I could just create lists, and they didn't have ads at the time. Now they do, right? So I think y'all know my little one, special needs, right? He's very semantics, okay? Very black and white. So for him, like, he's not in Pandora, but for me, I'm like, that's my music platform. That's my, my music platform. He's gotten into Spotify. Okay. So well, you can create all this on the moment, he's already like done it and created an account and done all this stuff, right? He was like, I think 9 at the time. And he had access to my accounts because I was monitoring his stuff. So he had to use my accounts, right? Well, he's like, he kept pushing and pushing me to use Spotify. And finally I was like, buddy, I'll try it. I'll try it. Not realizing that me telling him that meant that he could delete 15 years of my YouTube playlist. 15 years. We're probably talking about 2,000 songs. I'm still trying to get that playlist, those playlists back together, right? So it does, like YouTube has become the thing. I learned how to crochet. I was a handy one in my ex-marriage, and I had to change a sensor on the side of my motor. Like, they take the battery out. It was corroded. I didn't know I was 26, so I had to have my ex-husband hold it over my head because I guess he didn't know how to do anything with it. But so I'm sitting there, upside down, changing the sensor on the bottom of my motor. And how? Because I went onto YouTube and searched a whole bunch of videos to really understand what it was that I was doing so that I could go in and work on my own car. So we utilize this platform quite a bit. Okay. So how does it help us? Well, I put shares first because it is the most integrated video platform that we have. Okay. Google allows us to do it. You guys don't know what Follow Up Boss is, but Follow Up Boss is a pretty extensive CRM. And yeah. And in there, in our email template, whatever's, right? We can't upload a video, it's too big, but we can upload a link that will then drop a thumbnail to be a visual in our email, right? Like there's a lot of those things that are happening as well. Like you can see just this alone. Not only can I embed it into my website, and I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a series of code that you put into your website that meshes with their code, right? So that it shows up the way it needs to, because websites are just code. Okay. WhatsApp, which has become big. I am not addressing that here. It is a international platform. It is social in its own weird way, but we're not gonna. Twitter, not a big fan. It's more political right now, and you can only drop so much stuff on it. Okay. Facebook, so on and so forth, right? So it's got all the things because it's just got that direct integration because it's so good. 89% of us go onto YouTube. 89. That's a lot of people. Because even if you don't have an account, you can still watch the video. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no restrictions to that, so it allows full freedom. And then they came out with YouTube Kids, and now they've got premium and, you know, all the things, like there's just, okay. They also came out with YouTube ads. Their analytics are pretty sexy too, I'm not gonna lie, like, go into their like reporting and I'm like, it's pretty. Anyways, but now we can run ads on YouTube, okay? And we all know what they are because we're sitting there watching YouTube because we don't have premium and we're like, all right, 30 seconds. Can we just get back to what I was doing, right? So we've all had to sit through it, but you can pay for that and have that be a piece of it as well, okay? Playlist and sort. So the cool thing is, right, like Facebook, if we wanted to, I think it's a little bit more complicated than it used to be, but we could organize all of our photos and stuff like that into albums, right? But here, and I'm just gonna use some of our past experience. So like Kevin and I were on an expansion team that was in Prescott, Knoxville, Flagstaff, Phoenix, okay? And so when we would do a virtual tour during our photos and stuff, right? We would upload it and there would be a specific playlist for Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay. There would be a specific playlist for Phoenix, Arizona, Flagstaff, you know, Sedona, whatever. Why? Because they're different territories. You could have, you know, your own stuff on there. You can also make it private. So someone has to have the link to have it. You have as much as you want up there. Okay. So this one's relatively easy to make private, unlisted, or public. Okay. So it really does allow you to mesh your business and your personal if you wanted to, or have a large variety of businesses or facets of it. If that makes any sense. Who uses YouTube? I don't know why that's the same. Like to do business stuff. No? Okay.
Yeah,
Now, we'll get into it more when we get into, I'll just do a prelude to it. I need you guys to keep this in mind because it matters. If we want to cross post and take the same video, it doesn't always work the same, okay? And I'm just gonna use these three. I guess TikTok can go into Facebook's.
Facebook, you can't, you have to shrink it to go to Instagram or just do
So-
an Instagram post.
It's always easier to Instagram because
That's what I
Facebook,
do.
you'll have the lines appear, right? So Instagram is it's just a square,
I use Canva, I'll make something in Canva.
okay? That is the size, that's what we view, okay? If you notice you put a different image in, it's gonna shrink it in or it'll crop it out. That one likes to crop, well, so does Facebook if you share from. It's one of them that does it. I've had it happen on Facebook too.
Instagram is smaller.
And it's smaller, yeah. And so Facebook is like this. Okay. So we have I'll say an upper rectangle. Okay. And then. Okay, and then Facebook it's sideways, I think, okay? Or YouTube, sorry. So like Kevin was saying, because we've learned it the hard way, it's easier to go from here to here. To cross post because these are linked together. This one. Either you've got to pre-turn it and it's already gonna be smaller and you're just gonna have to accept that. But this is the platform. It is like watching a TV. This is like watching your phone, okay? That makes sense? Because it will complicate things if you don't understand that we've got to pre-edit and stuff like that, okay? And then, do you see how awesome they look? Yeah, so their YouTube analytics are really cool. So it's going to show you all the comments, shares and stuff like that, durations of video watching. That one's important. We'll get into that when we start looking at reels and stuff in those platforms. But you want to track that, right? Because if you don't have something that plays well, you don't want to keep doing it. You know, I'll be patient. Tell me when you're done. Okay. No, we already kind of did that. Okay.
What was the question?
Just if you had looked a song up on
Oh.
YouTube. Okay, so Instagram, right? This is our influencing platform for sure. This is where you can't trust if the person's real on the other side.
That's something I need to get us Instagram.
Oh, during next one, we will get it next week. Shoot, sorry, I almost finished that word. Pretty sure there's, that's okay. I'm recorded everywhere. I'm pretty sure I've dropped the bombs. Okay. So Instagram, right? We have our,
I'll watch the recording.
Yeah. so like Facebook, right? We do have our personal page, and I believe you do need your personal page to start the business page. I think you do. And I need to test it out. Because I was running the Good Life Team's Instagram, and we had to use mine because his was already attached to other accounts for the other markets or states. And so when I created the business one, it meshed my personal and my business together. So I ended up pulling them back apart. And I have not put them back together yet. Okay. I'm also rebuilding all of my stuff from the ground up too. So I just post on my personal, on my business stuff and my personal stuff. I'm
You
also,
don't have a business Instagram, you just have a personal.
I mean, Sarah's just not activated now. Yeah. Just because it meshed it together and then I wasn't my human. This way I can at least be my human that has a job, you know? Okay, so then we've got our business page, right? And then I want to just point this out. We will go through the meta, but then we're direct access. Okay, we can cross post without doing anything but posting in the one. We don't even have to go to the other one. It's super. Again, it goes, where do you start first? Okay. If it's especially if it's a content piece that needs to be seen, like you can't have an adjustment, Instagram to Facebook is going to be the recommendation. Okay. And then also love it. I have not tried them out though. I want to be very honest with you. But Instagram, obviously a couple years ago launched their ad stuff too. So the ability to be able to put an ad anywhere on any of our socials is pretty cool. If that's where we want to spend our money. Okay. So if you see, there's a lot of similarities between them, right? Some of them have a little bit more than the other ones. Okay, so where the reel started. Yep. What do you waste your time on? So this is a question I usually start my class off with in social. Okay. So we're going to be really honest with each other. Okay. When we're flipping through reels, I want the top 3 things that you watch. And I will start because it is a very honest, vulnerable question. Okay. Again, I haven't watched them in like 4 months, but weird. I have a lot of texture to my hair. It takes a lot to process it. It's a pain in the butt. And so I love the processing of hair, like ethnic hair, white girl hair, like in between curly hair. Yeah, I just love it. I love how it goes from its natural state to a sleek state or a controlled state. To me, it's fascinating, the start and the finish. I've also realized that I love street food, not here. I love to watch that street food being cooked. It's so fun to see how like they're eating, because I'm a very picky person. And I've actually found myself going, oh, I would eat that. Oh, I'd eat that. Can I, and then I did waste a lot of time on cat videos because they're freaking stupid cute. Just because they're dumb and funny. But I'd have to say I watch a lot of botany videos because that's my passion. So plant stuff, botany. So plant stuff. Yeah. Like I like if it
Gardening and
tricks, hacks, things like that around that kind of stuff, because I know how to garden, but it's just like those little things, right?
Here we have a very specific kind of soil, so it's like, what else can I do to make it a little bit more whatever? Okay, I did my 3. Go.
All right, so reels are on Instagram.
And Facebook and
Okay.
TikTok.
Well, I was gonna say on Facebook, are they stories on Facebook?
No,
No. Well, I look at stories, maybe I don't look at reels.
yeah, usually if they come through your newsfeed,
Let's see, well, then.
I would say, yeah, like you'll just go through and there'll be like a video
Oh, so what videos do, on Facebook?
or.
Or, I never go on Instagram.
Okay, so, but reels in general, like if you're gonna waste your
Right.
time,
I get tons of horse ones.
okay,
Either racehorses or,
and is that because you love horses? Have you owned them? Why
I
horses?
love them, I've owned them, I've spent most of my life on the racetrack or with them.
Okay,
Also the good performance horses, they always show, they start with slide stops down, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
type of thing.
okay,
Food ones, I
Yeah.
do like, seeing different, I like to cook and try different stuff, so. And what would be something else that I watch? I will look at if there's something cats maybe. Sometimes but animals.
sometimes I watch
plants,
dogs, yeah.
You know
plants.
what, I don't know if it's necessarily on reels, maybe it is. Great photography or video, natural, like someone who is, you know, up in arches or something and going.
Oh, I love it,
Or going through animal kingdom,
Yeah.
things like that.
I love that. Kev, you go, cause I know you're getting ready to go.
Yeah, I've been here a long time.
Yep, what do you, yeah, you actually have been here all day.
I usually look at,
Fill them out before you go though.
stuff with, she knows I'm into, dogs and stuff like that, adoptions and stuff like that. I found myself watching, I've ever heard of the Asher House, ASHER house. It's up in Oregon. They go to, I guess, kill shelters
Yeah,
and they bring the dogs over. Some of the dogs can't even walk.
Yeah.
I could sit there forever watching this guy going to one of those shelters and grab him, throw him in his truck and bring him back. He must have 40, 50 dogs out on his property. I'll do that. And then, racing, motorcycle racing, dirt bike. When I was young, racing, I was into dirt biking
Yeah,
and then up in the Northeast, that's probably one of the 2 big ones. And then any kind of sports, boxing, I'll watch things, from years ago, Muhammad Ali and
yeah, all that, yeah. Love it. Fill your tickets out for me.
I will.
Jason,
Oh, gosh, I would say anything like Kansas City Chiefs or football related,
okay,
definitely
so
want.
hometown,
Texas.
What's that?
Hear the rumor they're moving to Texas?
Yeah, that better not happen. The stadium funding thing passed, the county voted it down. Yeah. What else?
so football,
Yeah, like cooking, like even when I don't cook it, it's still
you enjoy watching it,
fascinating.
yeah,
From the Midwest, like anything like, it's tornado season back there, so like.
Yeah.
Tornado chasing, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Weather kind of fascinates me.
you guys are really tempered. I've got some weird responses from this, not weird, just like but it's honest, right? We're wasting the time, but yeah. So you watch tornadoes, that's home
From the
state,
Midwest, it's that time of season.
yeah, it's just that time, yeah. I mean, they're a wicked beast, aren't they?
Your
Gotta
friend is
respect
a
them.
Storm chaser, he goes out and chases tornadoes.
That's Landon's dream, by the way.
Ah,
He wants to have like a whole truck that's like bigger than like the semi truck. And by the way, for the record, he's only gonna give me $1 million to work it. And during the off season, he's not paying for my gas because he's not taking care of freeloaders.
Plus,
That's
it's
what he tells me.
a while back, so.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah, those were crazy. Okay. Yeah, TikTok, I know.
It's not my cup of tea.
You wanna hear something? I'll pull my TikTok up for you guys right now. I don't watch anything off of TikTok. Okay, I take that back. I have one really funny video that Sally sent me that's like, rise and shine. Fucker. Get out of bed, like it's just one of those, right? That's it. I don't watch anything. I go and I post. Why? Because TikTok is the best to test your products and the algorithm. It's the best. It's instantaneous. It's gonna happen within hours. It happens within hours and then it's done. It's just done. Okay, you're not tracking it. It's just, it's very instantaneous. So I actually use TikTok as my launching testing pad, beta testing pad. I do.
So
Mhm.
you-
Yeah, I'll pull it up after I pull this out and show you. I mean, you guys have access to my TikTok, so you guys are more than welcome to, stalk me. Okay, it's a trending social. Okay, after TikTok, there's gonna be another one, right? And then these people will be starting to die off. And these people will now be in this category. No one will remember that, right? This is gonna be all the way up in here. We're gonna have some new thing, right?
You know what's, I have a couple of friends or who are like 20, who now use MySpace.
Oh, dude, if that
They
came
use it
back,
now.
Yeah. they're
if
starting
that
to-
came
Yeah,
back,
it's like, there's
well, cause I
I've
coded,
never had an account. I've never-
really?
I've never had-
I didn't either, but yeah, it's like MySpace. Like, yeah,
It was so neat because yes, you could chat. It was so archaic compared to what Facebook is now or social is now. But like you coded it. So you could have like you could code your music into it and your page would come up and all your favorite top five, right? You could have your top, like I think it ended up being like top 10 people that were your friends and you can move them. You could code it and have sparklies everywhere, be like, Kansas City Chiefs everywhere, right? It was just such a neat like little platform. But that was my genre too. Like I took years and years of computer programming. Most of the kids, pretty tech savvy. So it's like, oh, well, now we can just play around with coding, right? That would be crazy. I actually, I went on to my Facebook and realized I was in my emails just now and realized that my MySpace account email is actually still attached to my Facebook.
I could see it maybe coming back. I mean, there's a lot of hassles with BS with Facebook. And
Yeah,
I can see it. maybe-
You know what it would feel like that 70s show.
yeah.
That's what it would feel like
What's that?
if we brought MySpace back. Well, we can try it. I mean, it's very archaic. I mean, unless they changed a whole bunch of things. I keep stressing this because again, what do? We're gonna rotate through this, okay? There are next step buyers. We can like it, not like it. And now I understand why, like, when I was a kid, I was like, why don't the adults respect me? Because you're puke bag. They're all puke bags right now. Okay, I understand that. Okay, but they are literally our next set of buyers. And their ability to trust is even less. My husband and I were talking about this the other day. Like, it's funny how each generation creates this like mentality, right? Like baby boomers, war, right? They came back and they did this, and then we ended up having what? Flower power children? Is that what came out of baby boomers? Okay. So, you know what I mean? Because they worked so hard and they lost so much, right? They wanted to come home and just have their families and stuff like that, which is not bad, but like, right? So then what did they create? They created I'm not saying yes, no, or maybe, just our Clinton administration. I'm not saying anything about the political thing. I'm just talking about that time period, right? So then we have like, that millennial piece coming in too, right? So like we were taught, I was before the millennials, because I'm the start of it. Like I was taught to be wickedly independent still, right? But also not be subservient as a woman, right? Like I could do the things that I needed to. And then the next generation just decided that they didn't want to do anything. So I'm curious to see what this next. I'm hoping it's the opposite because it seems to be
I
like,
think we're in trouble.
please don't say that. That's my grandchildren.
I agree. I hope we're wrong.
We're all wrong.
Yeah.
But either way, like we will always be looking at the social platform that we don't want to get on is the one that we will be cycling through. Okay. And see, it also recognize that. I think I was talking, oh, that's why. I was talking to someone else yesterday and these are all here. Why is that important? Because these little puke stains love you. You guys will grow up. It'll be fine. They're all living with us. So speak through them. So we empower them to move out of us. Okay. I mean, next gen suites and stuff like that have become a thing. So much so that we can't even have mother-in-law suites anymore. Okay. And then the third is, I kept this basic, guys, because we have a whole 3 hours around each one of those. They also launched their ads and their campaigns. Okay? Huge. I would be getting myself into that right now. In fact, I was just thinking about that last night. Like, should I, because I've been doing so well on TikTok, maybe I should just run an ad and beta test it. I got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? If it works so well, then we just found something else to solicit, to solicit with, right? So we will be starting a TikTok account, whether you like it or not. Love you guys. Anyone's in the class, you guys, I know I love you, but don't care. You don't have to have your face all over it. That's not what it is about. And we'll go into what that looks like, but today's more etiquette and understanding. Okay, so 1 to 10, how much are you avoiding social media?
Using it for business.
I mean, proficiently, like, yes, being consistent in people's faces, like
I'm avoiding it at probably a 9.5.
9.5. Okay,
10's the highest, right?
I mean, someone asked me 1 to 10, I'm like a 15.
Say a 9 to 10, yeah.
Okay.
That's something I need to.
Yeah.
I
Kevin.
usually put a post almost daily, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, maybe every other day.
Yeah,
Just something, with SK, something.
yeah.
On my Facebook business and Instagram.
And are you posting stagnant pictures, Kevin?
Am I posting what?
Stagnant pictures?
You mean my
What are you posting?
It's
Just,
pictures.
just pictures,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about that.
I'll take something, go into Canva.
We're probably gonna have another gift day. Just so we can throw that on there, because it changes. We do, literally, people, I'm not even kidding you. We have an open house line, we sit here in front of a thing and go,
What day is this again?
I don't know yet. But it's gonna happen. We do that, we film it. Okay, we throw it into Canva, that allows us to remove the background now. We don't even have to pay for another thing like we used to.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And then you literally just onto your stagnant peeps. And guess what? Now you got a 5-7 second reel. It's how we're using our stuff, right? You got this beautiful content piece. No one wants to watch it. They're just gonna slide past it, Kev. Like when Michael, who was in the open house thing, was it the open house that Michael was talking about posting the link? Were any of you in that?
The open house class with the listening?
Yeah, so.
I wasn't able to make that.
Oh, one of the agents was like, why just post the MLS link to my social? I was like, why? And he's like, well, I do it. I mean, it's on there and being consistent. And I was like, yeah, it's pointless. And he's, why? I said, because it's boring. No one's gonna look at it. I see agents, veteran agents all the time doing it. And I look at the front one and I'm like, interesting. I'm not even gonna look at it.
Yeah, I know.
Even if I had a buyer as an agent, I'm not gonna look at it. Also, because chances are your algorithms are all screwed up because you probably have a lot of lenders and agents on your thing. So they're screwing up your algorithm and who you're actually appealing to. I've gone through my stuff twice to clean out lenders and agents. So food for thought. Questions? Okay, because this last part is so much fun after the LinkedIn and the next one. Okay, because I found some pretty bad things. Okay, LinkedIn, it does, you can post events now, you can post free recruiting, which I'll just go through. It's a recruiting platform. Oh, I forgot one. Oh. Interactive posting and business to business, okay? It is meant for, and I even saw it in a couple places, more of an elite type of business person. I think that's stupid. It is a business platform.
Professional.
Yeah, the wording that they used was a little funky.
I was supposed to go to Fry's 2 hours ago.
Okay. Wait, are you by hand?
Yeah.
So, this is a good one. Like referrals, people.
Wait, what does that look like when you're being consistent enough? You don't, I wouldn't be as consistent as you were like on our active things. But used to be relevant. I go in at least once, twice a month and post something just to keep it up. You know what I mean? Cause I connect, they need something. I'm not in their state, right? Cause it's worldwide. But again, going down to business professional, you're gonna have a business page and a Google business. Why would you not have a LinkedIn? It is literally the social networking site for business. Okay, so we will be starting that or updating it if you haven't as well. Okay,
Mine is in dire need of being updated, so.
yeah. Have you used LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Do you know your password?
I don't. If I would have known to bring, I don't use it that often. I had to go in and actually click on,
Mm-hmm.
I get emails all the time, people sending him. Sherry Pinio posted so-and-so put, so I had to look on one just to see what my name on LinkedIn was. I don't know my password. I could probably,
You reset it, but that's why I asked, because someone will start it and they're not gonna use it. So do you know your password? Okay, cool. Do you?
Mhm.
Okay.
I could
So,
probably think of yes. but-
yeah, you can reset it. It's like super
Yeah.
easy, but it's just something that needs to be done. So what if you guys wanted to grow beyond? Or what if you're working for someone or what, or something like that and so did I go through the whole?
No, you're good.
So then, I mean, I don't know. It's there. It doesn't need to get used all the time. It just doesn't need to be absent either. Okay. And it wouldn't surprise me if we don't have like direct integrations with things as we start to move forward. It wouldn't surprise me if the meta doesn't truly become the matrix for the back end of social altogether. Okay. All right. So anyone recognize that sign? That logo?
It's been a while since we've
Next
seen
door.
it, yeah.
Next door.
Has anyone ever used the next door?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if you can still claim neighborhoods. I'm pretty sure I claimed mine. I think I am. If not, I had my other neighborhood. Next door, I want you to think of if your farm could have a social media network, this would be it. Okay. How many of you know Crystal? Okay, y'all do, right? She just pulled a lead 2 months ago because she answered a question. Okay, that's also one of my lead genning tools for the events.
I saw just the other day where she answered something on
Mhm.
Nextdoor.
Yeah. So again, how vital, how interactive are you going to be? Just putting the app on, you'll get notified. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that in the Citizen app if you're not ready. I mean, heaven forbid a bang goes off in the neighborhood,
I
right?
was just gonna say, that's why it's like.
It is.
Nextdoor.
Now, when Nextdoor first started, about like 7 or 8 years ago, you could not touch your business on that page, on that site. You could not solicit anything. If you were, unless it was a garage sale, an item for sale that was personal, a pet lost, a pet being given away, you could not solicit your business.
You still can, right?
You can. They've now offered you free business post. They've also have now paid ads. And it's digital farming, people. Okay? You don't even have to, it's in the surrounding neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So you don't even have to go necessarily put a full audience in because it's become so big. You can just literally go add yourself to the neighborhood that you're farming and be an interactive contributive piece of it. Okay. So, it's user friendly. There's not much to say. It's just that they've made so many changes and now it's vital to our business. Okay. Because it is digital farming. I don't want you guys to miss the opportunity to utilize it for what it could be used for. You don't have to pay an ad, but free business posts, yeah. Let me post for free. The whole point of this thing, people, is to create that subliminal messaging. What's going on? So free and digital around farming and community. Is this on your radar? Right? So
Yeah,
like,
I would say, yeah, it's on my radar, but it's not, I mean, I know it's there, but that.
Yeah, these specific ones that we just went through, you guys will walk out with your profiles completed and linked if it can be linked to something. And you guys will at least know how to get to your leads and stuff like that in that event, okay? Because guys, this whole crap with NAR right now and the agent pool and the miscommunication that's being thrown around, right? When our agent count goes down like that, first year's already like an exodus because people renewing their license, right? Why does this matter to you? Because you guys are agents and this matters how you take your business and you take your market share, right? So that naturally happens. But whenever we have a market shift, we like to call it the cleansing period. Because everybody who got very complacent with it the way it was, they don't know how to handle the shift, right? And we have all the exaggerated pieces of perhaps changed so much. So everybody's even more confused, right?
There's so many people can get out, but I mean, this is probably the time to get in and get your license. I mean, because a lot of agents.
No, I mean, yes, it's always a good time to get your license if you're committed. Okay, do you know the success rate? Let's say we have 10 brand new agents walk through this door and they have someone there to hold their hand every day. How many do you think will be here in a year?
Say two or three.
Or let's just say to renew their license. Okay, because that's when everything's due again, right? The association dues and stuff like that. Can you stock up if you're not doing anything?
Like 1 out of 4. So
Well, it's 85% fail.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's less than 2 though. It's 1.5. That's who survives. So if we look at the statistics now, and why? Because we're not training on the things that we need to train on. That's part of it, I believe. I don't think it's the solution though, because it's a tough industry. You have to be able to shift and pivot and like we're going to be launching mindset course down the road, right? Why? Because this industry messes with our brain. Like I was just talking to Alex, we were going to like I have my own lead gen I have to do, guys, right? Like my job's to retain and do all these other things, but I still got to bring agents in, right? But I'm very I like to have things perfect and I want to make sure that I'm very clear and I'm very analytical, right? And I'm struggling. I'm sitting with my door shut and I'm making the calls and I'm getting the rejections and I'm like, it's really messing with my head lately, right? Because I'm not used to not succeeding, to be honest with you. Not that I haven't failed. I'm a very determined person, right? So and I'm feeling like I'm just roadblock. And instead of moving forward, I'm actually kind of scratching and doing something else, which is against my rules, right? I'm like all over the place. I'm like swirling all over. Like there's 20 me in my head, right? I guess new job, right? Less, around 3 months and stuff. But with that said, why does this always happen? I think it's because at the end of the day, maybe I should be doing my trainings in the morning again. I feel like I'm much sharper. We were talking about
Agents, like, retention of agents.
oh yeah, and just
Like,
feeling the
like,
uncomfortable,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Oh yeah. So we were talking about it and I was like, yeah, I'm really struggling. My conversions. I'm like not used to this, man. You put me in front of a listing, right? I'm doing it for 14 years. Like I can have a conversation. It's effortless. Like, what I mean, you don't like me. That's cool. I'm good. You kind of like me. Cool. We can work with that too. You love me. Great. Whatever. What do you got? Like I was at the last appointment I had and those guys, cause they're out of state, right? And they were like, well, can you help us with this? And can you help us with this? And what about this? And what about this? And I was like, would you know that old cartoon, where like the guy's walking down the street and he's got this little guy coming up. He's like, hey, what you want? Well, I'm like, that's what I am. What you want? I got it. Okay. And if I don't got it, I'll make it, right? It's a great industry. But again, going back to Armstrong, it's tough, that mindset, right? I don't need someone to tell me you're great, Rachel, keep at it. That's not I don't need that kind of stuff. But now like Alex is gonna, like we agreed that I'm gonna check in with him every day. That way I'm like, well, Cause I can't call them and say I didn't hit my numbers. You know what I mean? Cause I don't like doing that, right? So we're gonna have to work on our mindset and stuff like that. Just throwing it out there. Oh, who got home? Someone got home. Someone's in the vicinity of their house.
Not a story.
Oh, so that he's out of the vicinity. Okay, we're actually just gonna move forward, so I can send you guys off.
It's like, I mean, it's like, see, like, you know, you've been an agent for what, 15 years, it's like mastering, trying to speak English or French, and you're like trying to recruit other agents, it's like, you're like, learning a different language. So
It is. It is so weird
It's like
because,
asking to speak German when you spoke French the last 15 years, you're trying to learn.
which is weird because all I've dealt with is managing agents across state and city lines on like big expansion teams. So like, and you guys see me here, agents are my jam, man. But somehow you get me on the freaking phone and I'm like, right? And then it's deflating because I'm like, wait, I know I'm better than this, right? But Alex is right. I've got to put my head down. I just got to do it. And I just got to get over, I got to get over it, right? Just put my big girl britches on and get it done. Okay. Point is that these agents are not going to do that. There's a lot of agents that aren't, even tenured agents. Okay. So what does your business look like if you know that we have a mass exodus happening? Okay. That's beyond our control. How do you plan to take your market share? Okay. Just Rachel lectures. Okay. All right. Another one of my elephants. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite things. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, and I've realized I have to share these things with you guys after that one class I cried in. Were you there for that one?
I don't think so.
Oh man. Yeah. Like,
If
yeah. Well, I hate to cry, but anyways, um,
it was the listening class.
Yeah, it was
I
one of
walked
them.
up For once, I probably.
I didn't know.
yeah, I was, anyways, yeah, I just don't like to cry. So I'm going to share a very funny, intimate story with you. And this is why, before we go into this, is super important. And I was going to be like, so I had a friend of a friend, but I realized like, it's just, it is what it is. Okay. When I met my husband, I've always, technology has just always been the platform in which things need to be solved. I don't like technology. It's just the platform in which I have to solve things. So I figured it out, right? My husband is very simple in that regard. When I met him, he had a flip phone, no computer. This is like almost 14 years ago. Okay. So like we were still digital and social and all the things, right? Just wasn't his jam. He'd rather go out and work on something or whatever the case is. And so when he did get a smartphone, okay, he ended up having to use my email address because he didn't have one, okay, which is fine normally. But at the time, Google Plus was around and I was an agent. Let's just say, okay, flat rate brokerage, only went in, get my check, chat with the receptionist, whatever, right? And they had just come out with Google Plus and Google Photos. Okay, those weren't, they had just come out with them. So every time I would upload something to my phone, okay, or to like oh, it had the backup on it, that's what it was. It would drop it into both those platforms. Okay, so my business one and then my personal Google photo. Okay. Now we caught it because when we put his email on we put my email on his smartphone because he didn't have one, he was getting pinged every time I took a photo. Okay. And again, we had a small little kiddo and growing little kiddos, and there are a lot of photos. Okay. And stuff making my phone go off. Like, okay. I don't remember if he broke it or he was up for like a upgrade or something. Something had happened that he needed a new phone. Okay. But he had to turn off those privacies on his old phone as well, just as I had to, right? So when he got his new phone, we didn't think about it. Those privacy settings weren't on. Okay. So during a very intimate moment between my husband and I, those photos were automatically uploaded to my Google Plus with 300 and some odd agents from my West USA office. Now, my profile had 12 people. I had over 20,000 12 hours later. Okay. Okay. Now, how did I find this out? Because my husband's like, my phone's dinging with photos. Honey. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And this was like 12 hours later, right? He's like, babe, my phone's dinging with photos. Have you taken anything lately? Other than last night? And I was like, no. And he's like, Rachel, and I'm like, oh. I mean, it was the most mortifying thing ever. So I never, I mean, I was there for a while after that.
Privacy setting off, so.
He didn't, yeah, because he got a brand new phone. He just logged into the thing. He didn't even think it wasn't a piece of the technology that you would normally use, because those modules in the platform are new to begin with. So needless to say, 20,000 of our valley have seen bits on me that I would prefer them not to see. I have not taken a picture since because I am so afraid, right? But when I became a real estate agent, I started up in North Scottsdale, different mentality than our media market, which is why I work in our media market. But anyways, it was so clear to me how we present ourselves is of the most important, because what do our rules and our ethics and all of our standards say, right? We are to remain in a professional stance at all times because the public is watching us. They're relying on us to show them the standards and things like that we should be abiding by. We are the example, right? So when I tell you that I have personally been in a room when a client has looked up another agent on their social, I have been in a room when a client has looked at me and said, cool, I'll pull your social up. Are you prepared for that? Okay. I'm sure you guys are. I'm not, but I'm as a general, you would be surprised. Okay. No one's saying
Mine is just like real estate related, like hobbies, and I don't.
It is,
Political
yeah.
religion or any of that, I mean.
we're going to go into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty clean about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So here's the deal. We are individuals. Okay. No one says we can't have vices. No one says we can't have fun. No one says we can't have a freaking personal life. No one says that, you can't have, as a woman, a little bit of cleavage if you're going out with your husband or, do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that those things can't happen, but whether you like it or not, our job is to conform to the public's need. That is our job. And if you don't like it, don't be a real estate agent. Okay. We literally take a code of ethics. I understand ours, getting it up the rear right with nothing, but not our problem.
Yeah.
Okay. It is still what we have abided by, and we have to do that. So when I became a real estate agent, or was getting into getting my license, I literally went through my social and said, probably shorter skirt than I want. Oh, I have a drink in my hand. Delete, 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 delete. Why? Because it's not that I don't have to have that up there. I don't have to show that piece of it. That's my private life, right? Well, it's my private page. Then start a private page in which no one has access to. But if you're going to be in a position in which your clients can view you, or people of your client, or your own friends and family. Now, I'm going to share with you guys a few agent stories as we go through this. You could, maybe not, probably don't know these people, and that's fine. I'm not here to disclose their thing, but I have just seen so many things, and it's very pertinent, I think, to share the case study with you. Does that make sense? Okay. So as we talk about our etiquette and what it is that should and should not be done, I do want to talk about 3 major personalities that we tend to see on social. And please do not be one of these assholes. Okay. We're going to start with this guy, and then her, and then them. Susie Scherer, Political Peter, and Negative Nancy. Okay. I know.
Good job.
You know me. So Susie Scherer, she shares everything, even if we don't want to see it. Her husband gave a side-eye glance to a woman. He's the worst
man in the world. Her children did not clean up a pile of laundry. She wants to return them. Okay, nothing's her fault, or, you know, she wants to share all of that stuff with you. I was at the gym. Here's my food 3 times a day. No one cares. No one cares. If you want to be a food blogger, whatever, you will look at that stuff and it's into thing, right?
Feel the same way, I could give it, yeah, whether someone goes to the grocery store, what they have for lunch, I could care less, so.
Yeah, like,
And people, like you said, people do overkill with that
Yeah.
stuff, I mean, just all the time. So.
and so it is, it's all the time, right? Same thing for political Peter, or we could say religious Randy, whatever the case is. I'm a huge lover of faith. Please understand, KW is God, family, then business, right? Faith, our inner circle, and then our money, right? So I'm all down for that, okay? I also, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm a pretty strong personality, which also means I have some pretty strong opinions about some things. You're never gonna know. Unless we have gotten to some weird point, or not weird, but just like we have been able to get to an intimate point that we could have a conversation like that, cool. Other than that, you will never see it happen. Okay? Why? Because I shouldn't have a client not want to work with me because they think I'm going to judge them because I'm so right-winged or left-winged, or I'm Christian and I don't support Muslims.
Especially
Okay?
today, you have to walk on eggshells.
I'm not saying Christians don't support Muslims. I'm just, please understand.
You
I'm
have to
just,
walk on eggshells now these days. You have to be-
we are so eliminated. My aunt is my mom. I like to look at her as essentially a kindergarten flower power child. Okay. She also worked for the post office for like 39 years. I don't know how she didn't go postal, but she is just love, peace, harmony, energy, all the things, right? Like, and I love it. I love it. She's like the coolest person in the world. She's been my mom, all the things. We cannot talk politics. So we can talk about everything else. I can't even talk politics with my own aunt, my mom, my mother figure. Okay? It's just the way the world is. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Pick your spots.
Mhm. Yep. You don't like something someone's doing, call your best friend and tell her and send her the picture. Don't put it on Facebook. Okay? So the political stuff, absolutely. We don't want to. I mean, especially, I wish we were more of an quality kind of a country right now, because I think we're just staggering and moving backwards with creating the same issues we're fighting. But at the same sense, I'm also very sensitive to people's individual needs, right? And we have a lot of people that are feeling very sensitive and vulnerable. And again, if you're not willing to mold into that, then get the fuck out of the industry. Okay, because our public needs something different. There's a lot of other industries that people can go into and be that. And the negative Nancy, who she's always bitching, nothing's ever her fault. It's just like she's just toxic, okay? Those people, if they're really close, like high school friends and stuff, and I do have a couple, I unfollow them. So they do not pop up onto my feed.
Toxic, toxic.
And we can talk about that when we go through. They're toxic, but I love them. I love them as people. I just cannot watch that piece of it, right? I don't want my feed filled with negativity. If you click on something, guys, okay. COVID, I feel like we always go back to, just because it's everything's so extreme, right? So COVID, how many of us were watching and clicking on to see what the government was going to do, how our things were going to do, you know, I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people that were like, I need to know. Oh, maybe there's a new article. Is there anything new, right? Because there's so many people that are sitting in frantic, right?
There were so many unknowns, and things were changing.
Mhm.
every day.
Do you know what doing that did? Because I didn't choose to go to a reliable media or source. They're using something that wants to run with an algorithm, right? Which means it wants to AI pick pattern behavior
Show you what you
and show
want to
you
see.
what you want to see. That's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
So guess what all those people did for a long period of time? They were just saturated with political bullshit, whether it was valid or not. We have to be careful about how we play with our algorithm, right? So every time that you guys do that, if you comment on someone being nasty, guess what? You're gonna start to see more of that shit pop up. Okay? Don't do it. Stay neutral.
I've never like started a post or anything, but I need to stop. I've stopped doing it, but like in the past, I would like give a thumbs up or like chime in and make a
Nope.
comment, but
Mm-mm.
even not going to do that.
No.
now.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And if you're that interested in it there, go outside into Google. Who tracks you anyways? But again, that's not suffocating your algorithm within your feed. That's the thing I'm most concerned about. So I would just go outside. Okay.
And that's, you know, that, is it 10-5-1, 10 likes or whatever, you know, and 5 comments and most of the stuff that comes in, it's like, I'm not commenting on it.
You bypass and you find something you find a stupid cat video, you know what I mean? Some
Exactly.
kid, you know, trailing off on his bike and hitting the ramp and making it, whatever, I don't care. Just find something else to start feeding that algorithm so it feeds that out. You will eventually weed it out, like milk and water. Look at our water was saturated with milk, so now it's all murky, right? So then we've got to flush it out, and it takes a minute because milk it's also fine, you know. Okay, now we're gonna talk about some things that have actually happened. Okay, so this real estate agent, I didn't blurt out faces. It's public. That's why I'm not talking shit about them. I'm not just, but they did something that's public, and so we're not going to do it. Okay. She specifically, we can see what she's wearing.
Yeah.
Okay. By definition, whether you sit on the side or you don't, I don't care. There's nothing wrong with being patriotical. Okay. And in doing that, if it was Biden and that was their people, right? That whatever. But as a real estate agent, where did she fuck up?
Well, that was a very January 6th. She was, I mean, that's, her,
She's
social posting or,
She's showing political bias.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. She's choosing a side and she can choose a side. She's owed that right. I need you to be very clear.
Screwed up or posting.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what she screwed up.
Right.
That public.
And depending on which one this is on, it could be Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't say, I didn't capture that enough of that. I didn't care enough. It's just, it proved the point, right? We can create, if we feel that strongly and we have a group of people that like, we want to have those conversations with, or we want to have, that's the way we want that. That's cool. Start a second one. You're more than welcome to do so. There's nothing that stops you from doing so. Okay. So just lock it down and make sure no one's allowed in there. Okay. That you truly can't trust. Okay. Or isn't within your mindset.
I'm sorry, she screwed up with posting, but I mean, you know, even if you don't post things like that, I mean, we could go out in public, anybody can take a picture or video of anyone or anything at any time.
And I'm not disagreeing with that, but when okay, so clearly she's somewhere cold, so I don't know where this is, but we'll just go ahead and say back in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes into the Kroger or whatever you guys have over there. I don't know what kind of fries or whatever, Vons or whatever it is that y'all have over there, okay? And she goes into a grocery store. Okay, whether it's in her neck of the woods or isn't, there's little eyes. Okay, not everybody's gonna know who she is.
Yeah.
But when those people are seeing that on her social, and they are very aware that she is what? An agent, and her clients are on there. Okay, because we do want our clients on our page, guys. We want them to see how much work we're doing. We should be having that type of facilitated relationship that we could trust them like that way. No different than them being in our database. Except if they get to see a little bit more of our lives. Yeah, she screwed up. She's entitled to all of that, and she should be proud of it if that's where she sits. Okay. I'm not saying I do or not condone it. I'm just very, you do you, boo, kind of thing. But that was not for the public as her potential consumer or current consumer to see.
That's good to see private life, you need to see about it.
Yeah. And our code of ethics and our commissioner standards state that specifically around religion and politics. And so she's also breaking that piece of it too. Okay. So this one decided to say disparaging marks on social media about her renter. and lost her license. Both of these people lost their license. Okay. So, she came back later like they always do. But you guys have to remember that, like I just talked about that very intimate thing that happened. Do you know what I have to accept every day? What do I have to accept every day?
Things you can't change.
I mean,
Can't control the past.
I'm not,
It's-
I love you guys. You're so cute.
I mean-
No,
That-
they're out there
I was
somewhere.
gonna say that they're still out.
They're still out there.
And yeah, you don't know.
They're still out there. They could be cycling through. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but my bits are somewhere. And that's a very uncomfortable feeling because I'm modest in the way that I dress. I'm not flirtatious. I'm very loyal. Like, I mean, like that's not some piece of me that I want exposed. And that was a
Yeah.
genuine mistake. You know what I mean? So just like looking at this. Okay, so we're gonna go through a couple more. Did it not put my other one? Sorry, guys, I really want these were important for a reason. Okay, so that one. Oh, just put that one right on top. Okay. So where were we? Were we here? I guess we were here when Gary Keller settled, right? I don't think we're in family reunion yet. I don't think so. Okay. This came in right before we went to family reunion. This came over our Arizona agent referral and tips and tricks. I'm pretty sure most of you are on that page. You're not on that one?
What page?
Arizona agent referrals.
Referral and marketing tips. And then there's a Arizona agent forum. I think
No.
that's a big one. That's a big
That's
one.
very inflammatory.
Which one's inflammatory?
The,
Arizona, real estate agent, it's the forum.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Arizona Real Estate Forum or something like that.
Yeah.
And so what it is it's all of our local, doesn't matter what brokerage they're in.
Yeah.
Same thing with this one. It's another bulk one. It's a lot of people in here. So this message, I couldn't fit it all in the little picture thing. Essentially, Annette's been a agent for a year and a half. Okay, this just happened. Okay, so when did I go to family reunion? 23rd of February. Okay, so this was like a day before. She gets a text message from her team lead that literally tells her that she does not believe that she is capable of being an agent. And if she does not have by March 1st a contract and deal, that she should, let me read the real one. Let me read the real one because I snapshot and sent it to Alex. I was so pissed. Sorry, because it was just so, I could never, ever think of saying that to someone. Old people. I feel like my camera's doing funky things lately. Do you guys ever have that where it like doesn't place it where you need it to be? Like where you would think it would be? It's just under Facebook. All right, I'm actually just gonna click out of it so we can see it because it's important for you to see what is said. Where's my slide? I just want to make sure we're in the right place. Oh, there's the other one. Okay.
Hey Annette, by chance, are you missing a real estate commission check from January, February? If not, you should be mad. If you like working for free, that's cool, but I believe you like to be paid for your efforts. If you're sick and tired of not having a real estate commission check, it's time to get serious. What can you do between now and March 1st to get hired or get someone under contract? If by the end of the March you haven't had a contract, you have no hot real estate deals, it may be in your best interest to get out of the business. Let me know what your plan is to get business by next week. Could you imagine if your team lead sent that to you after 1.5 months of being at all? Like, I hope her ass was fired. I'm just gonna be honest. Whoever her TL was, like, how dare you say that? Now that should have probably been a private conversation.
Not exactly uplifting or encouraging.
That's the opposite.
Nobody with record of that whatsoever, yeah.
No.
I mean, regardless of what the agent did or didn't say or do, yeah.
So, but the point I'm getting to here is this was a private conversation. Where did it end up?
Yeah.
Now it's in my snapshots, it's in my presentation, and it's in my computer. You know, I'm not the only one, because I read that and said, oh my gosh, how dare you? Like,
It's got its own stuff.
I mean, I didn't snapshot her name or said that's private business, but like, I didn't get in the middle of this one. That wasn't like, I've commented on 2 negative things in any of the forums. I usually bypass it. I don't want to, I'm not going to I got enough fights, sweetheart. Like, I don't need to be fighting that shit. You know what I mean? Like, let that be someone else's fight. Like, if it was at my doorstep, it would feel different, or if I was witnessing something, it would feel different, right? It would, but not over social, because nothing translates the way you want it to, right? So when we look at that, okay, and let me present so we can get through. Okay, so we got her, and that one, okay? This one. Who has a ring? No? Oh, okay. I have a ring. We have Nest, you know, like different Google devices, our phones, okay? We're not the only ones, okay? This is real estate agents that decided to cheat on their spouses and got caught on camera in a client's house.
That would be turned.
Oh, they
Right.
lost their license. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just the state law that they broke, then you probably federal, and then commissioner standards and, you know, ethics and all that stuff, right? Again, this was intimate, and who had this? The homeowner. Where did it end up? On social media. For me to see and for me to share, okay? This one, my favorite. This is what happened, and I did comment on this. It says Keller Williams is settling the buyer commission lawsuit and paying blah, blah, blah. Why are they giving up? Our buyer's going to go away, okay? To which the responses were defamating. The shit that was said about Gary, about KW agents, the shit being thrown back. I feel like us KW agents were really, really good about like not, slandering or any, because we're not allowed to, right? I did come back and I'll straight read you my response, because I sent it to Alex, and because I believe in transparency, I don't ever want to say like I said or did something and didn't. But I just told him, I was like, do your research. Okay, this is part of why we're having a problem, is our consumers and agents are fearful because we're just flinging information without backing it up. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 right? I didn't go into the specifics of what had happened because that's not my job. I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm not a broker. I can't speak on that behalf. But just those comments, do you see what it says on the bottom? What's it say here?
Oh, yeah, but
They had to turn it off. It would not stop. My phone for like days It just bang, bang, bang. They had to literally shut the post down because it was creating so much havoc. NAR was in there. Like, it was just so much stuff, right? And that's just between us. So this one also decided to make disparaging marks against renters on social and lost her licensure. Okay. Probably felt her audience was good, but you know, clearly she wants to influence, so it's probably more open than she wants to admit. And oh no, 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 no. No, no, no. Where's my other one? You have to see this last one. I know I put it up here. I had starred him though. You can't see anything. Please understand when I put this up here. You can't see anything. They have it like blurred out. This was an LA agent who took a listing and decided to take nude photo shoot to promote the listing and lost his licensure. Now it looks like you can see things, it's blurred out. I did star it and the stars were bouncing. It was really funny, actually. It was actually hilarious.
It was you, but
Oh, look it up. LA agent. Yeah. Like, I mean, we got everything hanging out. I mean, it's like, what was that Playgirl?
yes, yeah.
Well, no, there was Playboy, but then there was Playgirl, right? Am I right? Like, and so, which is funny because it probably didn't appeal to the girls, that particular magazine. But anyways, with that said, right? Like, he thought he was, and the owner maybe said, okay, right? And thought it was avant-garde, right? To have twigs and berries hanging out. I don't know. But he's sitting here dealing with a multi-million-dollar home. Now he doesn't have a licensure because he decided to show his pecker off.
Well, let's hope.
Now it's blurred, you can't see, you really can't, like, if you.
Oh, yeah.
I did have little stars like bouncing around everywhere, so you couldn't like, just in case, but.
Well, hopefully he had permission from the seller. You know,
I would think so,
I would
I didn't
say-
see anything in the articles that said to the
That he did.
contrary that he didn't, it just is that, what did he do? He violated, well,
Just sitting in his backyard.
No, that's at a listing.
that's what his listing. It's like a $2 million listing.
Who in their right mind ever sees the best?
Well, that's it. Yeah, some of.
Just the stupidity of nation.
Yeah. So I was hoping, obviously, I thought we'd have a little bit of a younger crowd here today too. So,
Sorry to disappoint you.
oh, we're all old farts over here, so it's cool. I mean, not one of us is under 40, so we're good.
I wish I could say that.
Anyways, I did put this one up because this one's a really big one because it's cool. Great, have a slam of body, look beautiful. You do you, boo. I am all about you owning you. Keep your titties out of it. Okay, keep your shit wrapped up. Okay, we don't need to have. This isn't a porn for hire to sell your house kind of thing. This is we are professionals. You can have tattoos and do those things. Okay, we just don't need to pair them with other things, right? You can have all the beauty. You don't have to pair it with next to nothing. Okay. So again, because they're, and I just gonna say it, I'm not saying that women shouldn't dress the way they do because that's their fault that they're being objectified. Please understand that happens for males as well. I also don't think that because we have to conform, we need to be putting ourselves in a position. Like, you know what I mean? So, you can see why this was etiquette class.
Yeah.
So thank you. We're done. Okay. Do you guys feel like you got a little bit of something?
Yeah.
Okay.